Having backyard chickens is one of the best things that we have done here on our homestead. And today I want to give you a tour of our chicken coop, show you how we built it, why we built it the way we did, and there is a link down in the description below where you can get the plans to this chicken coop if you like to build one just like it. A couple of the things that make this chicken coop unique is the mono-sloped roof. And we did that because we know that we get a lot of snow up here, and the snow all slides off to one side of the chicken coop. And this is the side of the chicken coop that we don't have to walk around, that we don't have to mess with at all, because all of the nesting boxes are on this side, covered by this roof, so no rain actually comes down in this area. And guys, if you live in a place that doesn't get snow but you get a lot of rain, well, when you come out here to get your eggs, you're actually standing underneath this roof to get your eggs out of the nesting box. The second thing that is pretty unique about this chicken coop is the height of it, right? It's about 4 feet off the ground, and we did that because it makes cleaning it out super easy. Look, Jules, she doesn't even have to get into the chicken coop to clean it out, right? You just go in there with the shovel and away you go.
Right now I'm cleaning up the yuck from all winter, so it's piled up quite a bit, and it can be a pretty nasty job. So being up off the ground to do it is really nice.
And normally when we clean this thing out, we'll just park the wheelbarrow right here and just scoop it all off into the wheelbarrow, and then we can take it over to the compost pile. But today, because we still have quite a bit of snow out here, we are not going to be using the wheelbarrow method. We're actually using the tarp method. And this is a really common method used by landscapers to move like cuttings and branches and stuff like that on the landscape area. So it's super easy to do. You just fold it up and drag it over there across the snow to the compost pile. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but we built this chicken coop 5 years ago, and we've moved it 4 different times, and it's still holding up. It's still structurally sound. No issues at all with it. No leaks inside. No, nothing. It's just been like perfect chicken coop. Another thing that's pretty unique about our chicken coop is the automatic door, right? We built it with a manual door, like on a string and pulleys. I'll show you that on the other side once Jules gets that all cleaned out. But we found that, you know, getting up early and going out and opening the door for the chickens just wasn't our jive. So we went with the automatic door one, and this is a chicken guard. I'll link to that down in the description below so you can check it out. But it has been like flawless. We've had no issues with this chicken door. It works on gravity. It can't like squash your chickens. It can't pinch your chickens. When it comes down, it locks this thing down solid. And so last winter, we did have some raccoons coming out here trying to get our chickens, but they couldn't get them because they couldn't get into the chicken coop because of that chicken door locked solid, man. And it's metal too, so like they can't like just scratch through it or something.
Some people ask us what we do with all of our eggs. Well, we eat a lot of them. We also give a lot away, and then the rest of them we water glass. And water glassing is just a way to preserve the eggs. We've eaten eggs that are a year old. All it is soaking them in hydrated lime water solution. If you're interested in learning more about that, we have a video linked in the description below.
Yeah, man, that is a big pile of fertilizer down there.
We only actually do this whole process of cleaning twice a year. Once going into the spring, which is what this one is, and then the next one would be going into the winter. And during the winter, we don't clean it like this. We only add another layer of pine shavings just to help wick up any of that moisture.
So then this is kind of like a double batch right here.
For sure.
Right?
So the one in the fall isn't near as big as this.
Yeah, right. So it's not like you got to clean this thing all the time, right? In other words, that's what she's saying. It's simple, like I was saying earlier, easy to clean, man. And that is important. She did not have to get inside the chicken coop to clean it. You like nearly never have to go inside the chicken coop if you don't want to. We're gonna go ahead and drag this over to the compost pile, but another super easy thing that you can do is just pull your tractor right up to the door and rake all of that into your tractor bucket, drive it over and dump it on your compost pile. We're not doing that. We're doing it the manual hard way, but that's what you could do. Come on, chicken poo, let's go. Now that we got that put over on the compost pile, kind of let me show you an overview of how we actually built this thing. Let's start off down kind of at the base. We've got pressure treated 4x4 posts that we used for the legs. We got 4 of those. Underneath, we got all the floor joists. And then we got a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. That's the floor. And right here in the corners, you notice we notched it for this. The footprint for this thing is exactly 4x8. This is one 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood with just the corners notched out for these posts to go up. Inside, we've got some 2x4s coming down this way. Then we've got our 2x4s for them to roost on right here. We've got our nesting boxes all along in here. Oh, and that door I was telling you about, it slides up and down in those tracks right there that we built. Then that string comes over to here and down to this lock right here, which just weights it down. And that just holds the door open when you pull it open. But we screwed it open so it can't open and close anymore because we put that automatic door on the front. But if you want to do it manually, it's super simple to do. Slides up and down. You just open this door, pull the rope, open it, and then when you want to close it, you just lift it up, and the weight of the door slides back down, and it just stays where it's supposed to stay. But like I said, we don't want to come out here at night, close it up every night. Remember to do that every single night. And then if you're out of town, you can't open and close the doors for the chickens. And, you know, we go out of town quite a bit, so we want to be able to leave them for a few days or even up to a week or two and everything work automatically. So we've got these feeders right here. Super simple design, way cool. You just fill them up like that with the food and it automatically comes down into here and they reach in and they eat it. And then it automatically just keeps coming down and they just keep eating it. So we've got 4 of these things set up so that we can leave them for like a week. We've also got their indoor feeder right here. It's just setting up there because we were cleaning out the coop. And it just hangs right here so that they can eat right in here whenever they want to. Fill this guy up. And they've got a ton of food. So I will link to the feeders that we're using here also down in the description below if you want to check those out. Then for water, so we're using this big guy right here, and it holds about 5 gallons of water. It's not full yet because this is the spring like startup of the chicken coop, and so we've got to fill that guy up still here today. We were using a heated water bowl that we plugged into the house, ran an extension cord over so that it wouldn't freeze in the wintertime. I'll link to that also down in the description below if you want to check that out. This water works just like one of those, 5-gallon water coolers. It works just like that same concept. But when you put this lid on here, it seals the top. And then you take this cap off right here and it allows water out to fill up this thing. But once the water level gets to the top of this opening, it just stops coming out because the top is sealed. There's an O-ring in here that when you put this on, seals it tight. And so it just keeps automatically filling until they've drank all 5 gallons of water. I guess I didn't show you the roof here yet, but here's the roof, just a metal roof, 8-foot pieces of metal roofing. We just got at Home Depot, screwed them up there, and everything works great. I guess one other question that we've gotten a lot is about heating the chicken coop. Like, people are concerned that their chickens are going to get too cold in the wintertime. And I'll tell you what, it gets really cold here in North Idaho. Like, we could get down into the -20s, but the chickens are fine in here. It doesn't even matter. If you notice in here, there's no insulation. There's no insulation on the roof. These windows right here, those are always open. And we have had no problems with frostbite on our chickens' combs. We haven't lost any because of cold. They seem to adapt really well. They just kind of huddle up in their coop and, just try to stay warm, I guess. But there's no problem. Don't even worry about heating your chicken coop if, you just have normal winters like us. I guess if you get down to the -40s, -60s, like some folks up in Alaska or something, maybe that'd be a concern. But for most of us living down here in the lower 48, not a big deal. Another good question that we get is, what about predators and how do we keep them safe? Well, for one, we put their chicken area underneath these trees here. And so that protects them quite a bit from aerial predators because they can't see down through the trees and see all the chickens. But we did have some problems with some hawks anyway. But That's the way it goes sometimes, right? Hawks got to eat too. Then we also have this fence right here. This is a Premier One fence. It's an electric fence. I will link to that down in the description below also, so you can check that out. But electric fence all the way around their whole chicken area. Keeps them in pretty good. Some of them are kind of getting a little smart and wily, and they'll fly over it and free range around. Not a big deal. Again, they just fly back over. But if you don't want your chickens to fly, you can just clip one of their wings. You just cut all of those like big mane feathers off of their wings, and then, well, they can't fly very well anymore. Just do one side though, right? And then they'll like fly in a circle or something. I don't know, but keeps them from flying.
This is the bedding that I like to use for them. It is pine shavings. It's really good about wicking up moisture. Keeps it pretty nice and clean. I'll use probably this whole bag because, as you can see, the coop is empty right now.
Bedding is all in there, and they'll like get in there and scrape it all around and scratch in it and like put it everywhere that they want it to be. They'll just kind of make it their own in there. Lock it up. We actually have 3 locks on here. Not that we need 3, but we started off with this lock right here, and then we decided, let's put these on there. So we just left that one on there too. But like super secure, raccoons can't get in there. And then here on the nesting box, I'll show you that. We just use this stick to hold it up. Set the stick in there. And then this guy right here just latches like this. Bam, baby. Secure, raccoons can't get in. Raccoons can't get in. And when the door's down, raccoons cannot get in. Locked away safe every night, automatically. So that, my friends, is our chicken coop. 4 4x4 posts, several 2x4s, a couple pieces of OSB smart siding, 3/4 inch 4x8 sheet of plywood, and like 4 pieces of metal roofing to cover the top, a little bit of hardware cloth for the windows, and you are set. Like I said before, there is a link down in the description below where you can get the plans on how to build this, plus links to all of the chicken paraphernalia that we use. If you'd like to see our video on water glassing eggs and how to preserve them for a year or more, well, that video should be right up here for you to go ahead and click and watch next. We hope you guys have a really great day and keep smiling.